Hey, it's Jim Prevost with Embrace to Shake after about a 3 week hiatus. I have a very special guest tonight, my good friend Gary. He'll introduce himself here in a minute, and he's here with his lovely wife, and Penny and Mary Ann are sitting over on the other side of the living room just talking. There's Daryl already. He's probably been waiting about 15 minutes, knowing him. Hey, Suzanne Floyd Gunner's on tonight, Mary Ann. Mary Ann says hello to you, Suzanne. Marcus Quick, he was at Gaffney High School when I was coaching there. And then George Paradis, we went to high school together. So look at all the people coming on, Gary. This is great. You can probably have an autograph session after this. We have a table out there.
Good.
Okay, very good. Caitlin Boland's on tonight. Caitlin, I'm going to be talking about her artwork in a little bit. She is, and Becky's here. Here's Alex Lathrop. Good to see you, Alex. Alex, we were off for about 3 weeks. Alex is one of my former students.
Okay.
She has autism. Okay. We got a good crowd there. Aaron Blind and I worked together. Dale Smiley and I were in the American Legion together. So we got a good crowd to start off. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off. We got some sponsors and some folks that would like to mention. Dee Howell's here. She helped train my service dog.
Okay.
Moose, and I love Dee. She's just fantastic. And she also has, and I'll start off with her. Dee's down in Miami, Florida, everybody, and she works with, in fact, she has a prison inmate program called Magic City Canine, and she works with the prison inmate program there, and they learn dog training skills. And then after they're released from their incarceration, Dee helps them find employment. In fact, a young lady that we're working with, Maddie, is in the process of receiving a service dog, and his name is Biggie. And Dee and Angela Connor from Rescue 22 have been just remarkable in helping Biggie come into Maddie's life. And Maddie's has a spinal cord injury and some other neurological issues. And her mother and I work together, and Maddie's just a fantastic young lady.
Is this the dog you were talking about that's part German Shepherd, part
Right.
Great Dane?
Part Great Dane, right. And it'll be for mobility support, okay?
Okay.
So to help her balance and help her with her walking. And so Biggie's the perfect, there's your daughter. See her right here?
Oh, yeah, there she is.
There she is.
Yeah.
And she can see us, but we can't see her, okay? So you go ahead and say hello to your daughter.
Hey, Lorraine, how you doing?
All right. So Daddy's a movie star now.
Yes.
Probably going to have an autograph session. I've already said that once. I'll say it 10 times tonight. Next thing I'd like to speak about is Broad River Hemp Company here in Shelby, North Carolina. Whatever your personal feelings are about CBD oil for neurological diseases or other disorders, stop by and see these folks who were very kind to me when I visited. They do give veterans a 20% discount on any of their products in the store. They have research available at the store to validate what the current research says about the use of hemp and allopathic medicine. And I know there's a lot of controversy out there in medical land, but that's for the consumer to decide, wouldn't you say, Gary? And along with the physician to make sure that whatever product you use doesn't harm your medications that the physicians give you. I also like to say thank you to Anna Martin and her mother. They came by to see Moose today, and they dropped off some treats for Moose. Where Moose is saying thank you by showing this. And again, I can't thank them enough for coming by and dropping these treats off for Moose. They're the buffalo beef flavor, and he just thinks he's in high cotton. And we know what that is, being from the South.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okie dokie.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Next thing, and I know I'm trying to get through this so everybody can see, but we're very proud to have on board Miss Caitlin Boland. We met her at the scholarship dinner. Hey, Maddie, good to see you tonight. Bobby King, my brother-in-law. There you go, Anna. Appreciate the treats that your mom and when y'all stopped by to see Moose today. I really appreciate it. He says thank you. Like I said, Bobby King's my brother-in-law.
Okay.
All right. And Maddie's a young lady that we're helping out with the service dog. But I'm going to show you some artwork. This young lady specializes in artwork for pets. And I can give you your contact information. Just reach me through my Facebook Messenger, and I can go ahead and put her stuff up as well. And you can discuss what you'd like to have done for your animal or other type pets. She will be working with Embrace the Shake to help endorse. So here we go. This is some of her artwork. Caitlin does a super job. And she does these on all different types of media forms and all types of canvas and cards. I think I'm doing this the right way. This is some of her pets that she does. As you can tell, I'm not technologically sound. There's Superman. And the reason that I share this tonight, because these young folks that are working with us from Limestone College, they're doing this to help themselves get through school. And I think it's our responsibility as Limestone alumni to help our current students, get ahead and market themselves. So Caitlin Boland will be endorsing her artwork tonight. Also, we've hired a marketing director, Marin, and I won't give you her last name right at this time because she's a college student, want to protect her privacy, but she's become our marketing and our communications director. Becky, yeah, we can buy the cards and photos. I'll send you Caitlin's information. Kathy Rogers and I went to school together. John Keeter there, okay, right here. Uh-huh. He's one of the best football coaches ever hit the gridiron high school. Coach at Chase High School. That's how he and I met. He was a tomb guard at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier when he was in the Army. So great guy. Special person. Yeah, he wears a tomb badge, and they don't give those out. Those that's a forever promise. So I've mentioned all the folks tonight that do help us out. Again, Rescue 22, Service Dogs for Veterans, Dean Hout down in Miami, Florida, works with the Magic City Canine. That's her business. And Applause Your Paws, and provides service dog and general canine training. Marion has joined us as our communication director. Of course, Caitlin Boland and her artwork. And I also like to give a shout out to Carolyn Ford, our art professor at Limestone College. You can reach her for her artwork at carolynfordart.com. That's carolynfordart.com. If you like Caitlin's information, just send me a message and I'll send it to you. So we're going to go ahead and start our interview tonight, Gary. Okay. Sure. So would you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your family?
Well, my name is Gary Boyer. I'm 74 years old. I've lived in North Carolina since 1978. Came down here looking for work, found a job, and stayed. I have a daughter who lives in Kings Mountain, a son who lives in Bessemer City, and they both work at Wicks Filters.
Wicks Filters. Now, what career did you have, Gary? What did you do for a profession?
My degree's in chemical engineering from West Virginia Tech, which has been absorbed by the WVU system now, so the old campus is all left. Mm-hmm. But the company I came down here and went to work for was a division of Dow Chemical at the time. And our specialty was cleaning plant process equipment, either with chemicals or high pressure water or vacuum, whatever it took to get the job done. And with the background I had and everything, a pretty good fit for me to be involved in that type of work.
Mm-hmm.
I was with them for about 8 years. Then I went through a buyout and shook everything up. But through all the buyouts and everything, I managed to stay right here in the Charlotte market. I'm grateful for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I retired about 6 years ago in 2013. I think that's about right.
About right, yeah.
And discovered I had Parkinson's disease sometime during the course of the time I retired and today. It first came to my attention and I tried to stay physically active, but I didn't seem to be recovering when I would rest up from a job or something like that. Just general blah.
Okay.
On how you spell that, that's what it felt like.
I don't know. Let's get Daryl. Can you tell us how to spell blah? He'll come back with it in a minute.
Good old Daryl.
Good old Daryl. So you were misdiagnosed initially, is that right?
Initially I said something to my family doctor about it. And he said, yeah, it's probably because of arthritis and age. It wasn't though. It was Parkinson's. We found out later on. I was diagnosed by a nurse practitioner from Blue Cross Blue Shield, came to the house to interview me, to get me signed up for my Medicare. And she hit the nail on the head. But up to this point and everything, I haven't had much problem. I drag my feet, a slow gait, had a little bit of issue with balance and coordination, still do to this day. But one of the factors that's involved is you lose your sense of smell. And I just thought that was because I spent too much time in paper mills and power plants and places like that. But that was not the case, I don't guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it hadn't recovered since I retired. When I retired, I went back to work during the spring and fall shutdown season on a part-time basis. So I couldn't do the work like I used to.
So did you like taper your work down, or did you just say, I'm done?
Well, I told them if they wanted me to come back and work during shutdown season, I'd be glad to do that, and here's my fees. And they were okay with that. So
we'll bring this in a little bit. We got too much headroom, as my friend David Allen said, but I've got a big head. So now, have you worked at all since you retired? Are you doing any consulting work or anything?
Just during the shutdown season in the spring and fall. Most of your major manufacturers and power companies do their spring and fall shutdown seasons in the spring and fall. And paper mills started doing that too. So it gets you spread out pretty thin.
Right.
But after I was diagnosed with Parkinson's, I said, I just don't think I can do this anymore. In addition to the Parkinson's disease, I also have some degenerated vertebra in my back.
In your back?
Yeah.
So when did you feel like you had Parkinson's? Did you know that you had signs of Parkinson's at all? Or you just didn't feel right?
I just didn't. I knew something wasn't right.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Because it was the energy loss?
Energy loss big time.
Uh-huh.
Normally, whenever I'd go out on a job with one or two technicians, my policy was I lead by example. So
right.
grab his hose and follow me. So that way I could be sure that things were hooked up as I wanted them hooked up, and we wouldn't have any problems.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how that all came about.
Did you see any personality changes?
No, nothing I can lay my finger on.
Have you seen any personality changes or demeanor changes since your Parkinson's has progressed over time?
Not that I can recall. You might ask Penny that same question. She might have a different answer for me.
I'm agitated. He says I say agitated a lot. Yeah, I do. I admit that. But So now you're still having gait issues.
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was. I had a session today at the Mount Holly Rehab Center,
Right.
and the therapist said I've made quite a bit of progress.
Now, was that through your exercises, the exercise program you're in? You know, personal and physical therapy? Want to tell us about your activity levels that you have now, what you're doing? Kind of stay ahead of the ball game?
Well, I found if I try to do too much and everything, it really aggravates my back pain.
Right.
And so I just have to, if I get to that point, just take a time out
Right.
and sit down and rest for about 20 minutes to a half hour if necessary. And I'm okay after that, but those discs are not going to regenerate themselves.
Right.
So it is what it is, as I say.
Mm-hmm. How's your memory?
Still pretty good.
Good.
My favorite show on TV is Jeopardy.
Okay.
So,
So that works that cognition training we need, doesn't it?
yeah, seems
Right.
to.
And medications you're taking?
They got me cut back to just the levodopa and carbidopa.
Okay.
Take a pill and a half 4 times a day,
All right.
and it seems to be doing the job at that level.
Right.
I don't have much problem with tremors now. Biggest issue I have is coordination and balance.
Coordination and balance. And you haven't got your smell back.
No, I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
Excuse me. My friend Craig Kohlberg's on. He's a veteran, Army,
okay,
and Craig has a DBS in his head, deep brain stimulator,
okay,
and he has Parkinson's due to military service. So we're trying to get him a dog.
yeah, that's good.
And yeah, and Craig, man, I love you, brother. Thanks for checking on me, and I'm glad that we stay in contact because without each other, I don't know if we can make it through this,
Mm-hmm.
man. How's your sleeping? You sleep all right?
Not as well as I'd like to.
Right.
Sometimes I'll go to bed, sleep for about 3 or 4 hours, and wake up, can't go back to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Find myself taking cat naps throughout the day sometimes.
Now, when you can't sleep in the middle of the night, do you just go ahead and get up and do the Parkinson roam?
No, normally I just lay in bed until time to get up.
Right.
When the sun comes up, I get up.
Okay. You have night pain when you sleep or lay down?
My back,
Back? How about in
No.
your arms or your legs anywhere?
no, I don't seem to have much pain or anything like that.
Okay.
I did buy a new mattress and it didn't work out like I thought it would.
Didn't work out.
So I went back to an old style,
Mhm.
inner spring
Right.
mattress, whatever.
All right. How long did you I want to get back to the diagnosis because one thing I think Gary will affirm is that all of us in our Parkinson's boxing classes were all misdiagnosed,
Mm-hmm.
right? What was your initial diagnosis? Did I miss that?
My personal physician, I was complaining to him that I dragged my foot and I had lower back pain. And he passed it off as my age and arthritis.
Okay. And how old were you then?
I guess I was about 70.
About 70. So they just
72.
passed it off on the typical age and arthritis. Huh?
Yeah.
And a couple of our friends have been, they were even in their 50s,
Uh,
age and arthritis. It's just you're getting older.
right.
Okay. And your hearing's good?
No, I have hearing aids.
Okay. Now, did you have those prior to your Parkinson's?
No.
Okay. So after your diagnosis?
Somewhere in the same general neighborhood.
Okay. Now, did they contribute that to your work?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, whenever I was working, I had to go every so often for hearing tests. And
Okay.
what I've been told about it is once you lose it, you can't ever get it back.
Right.
But the hearing aids, I've got to do a real good job with amplification.
Now, are your hearing aids Bluetooth?
Well, yeah, I think so because I can pick up some strange music sometimes. I didn't dial it in.
Yeah, my hearing aids are Bluetooth as well. I can have them, they're hooked up to my phone, but sometimes I pick stuff up.
Uh-huh.
What I like, can you Are yours on your phone?
There.
Okay. Well, mine run through my phone, and I can change the direction of the hearing aids.
This one has that capability, I think. The controls on it are so small, my fingers are so big, it's sort of hard to work with.
Can you close your hands all the way?
Yep.
Okay. Bringing them out. Okay, good. All right. So you got a pretty good range of motion?
Yeah.
Has boxing helped you out at all?
Oh, yeah.
How's boxing helped you?
Well, I've released some frustration.
So you are frustrated.
I guess I'm frustrated with my condition. This wasn't on my bucket list.
Yeah, I didn't sign up for it. I don't think any of us signed up
I
for
don't
it.
think so either. But I feel like there's got to be some common thread somewhere. Now, my mother, she's 97 years old in a nursing home, and she had problems falling. And I don't know if it's hereditary or what. And her sister had the same problem.
Right.
Of course, mom's 97, her sister's in her late 90s, whenever she passed too.
Okay, so arthritis and age on that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, there is a correlation in the family. You know, they do feel at times that Parkinson's can be generational. And at the same time, it's what they call idiopathic, which means there's no explained reason.
Okay.
You just end up with it. As they say, you know, from the older generations, you catch the Parkinson. All right. That's a Southern colloquialism. I don't remember catching it. Do you catch it?
No.
Just kind of happened on you?
Just was there one day.
Did they ever make an estimate, Gary, how long you had it before they formally diagnosed you?
Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Okay. For you listeners out there, most folks that have, and this is what research says, most Parkinson's folks, it's about 3 years.
Okay.
Where the very small hidden signs that you and I know about and all of our friends know about, but the physicians don't put together, like a loss of smell, a loss of taste, a feeling of disengagement, the memories things. They diagnosed me, they thought I had Lewy body dementia, which is related to Parkinson's.
Okay.
That was my first diagnosis. They thought I had that, and you know, that'll take your life.
Okay.
And then they were thinking around Huntington's and Wilson's, which are two diseases that are neurological that are fatal.
Okay.
So we were kind of dealing with three things, and then they finally narrowed it down. And what really kind of set it off separately is they could see my hands and my foot tapping were starting to get slower and slower over the months.
Okay.
And then I don't blink a whole lot. You don't blink a whole lot either, do you?
I don't think so. I have a problem with dry eyes sometimes.
Penny, does Gary have issues with not blinking?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Everybody thinks I'm just staring at him and I'm weird.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what he does.
he just stares and you're staring weird and you just don't blink.
Just don't blink.
Okay, see, there we go. We'll be politically correct on that one. All right. And you have the dry eyes as well. Okay. Do your eyes ever just for no reason at all just tear out the side?
It'll start out with a burning sensation.
Okay.
And then, of course, it'll tear up, try to flush whatever it is out of there.
Uh-huh.
You live in an old house, so there's no telling, what all's floating in there or there.
Right. Okay. Are your eyes ever sticky in the morning?
Occasionally.
Yeah, because I've recently changed glasses again. Speaking of glasses, have you had eyesight changes that maybe are not related to age?
I don't think so. I just got new glasses, and his comment was, before I come back to be re-examined and everything, I have to have the cataracts removed probably. So sometime in the next 2 years, I got cataracts to deal with.
Do you have any speech issues, Gary? Are you mumbling more?
I guess it depends on who you ask.
Hey, Penny,
Yes.
Gary mumble?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, we all speak mumble, so that's normal for us.
Try to ahead of the game.
I can't understand why they don't understand. That was two understands in one sentence. You make up words?
What?
Does he make up words?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, so Mary Ann says I make up words all the time. I'm going to
Yeah.
start recording my words.
What's your dictionary?
Yeah, start my own dictionary, Parkinson's dictionary.
There you go.
All right. My college roommate, Bob Bott's on tonight. Becky, sorry guys for some reason.
Bob was here a few weeks ago, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
I
The
remember him.
bull. The bull. And he's like a bull in a china shop. They come to the house. Put your valuable items up.
Hey, Bob, you remember me?
Exit 93.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah, Bob came to our boxing class.
Yep, sure.
Well, he
did.
talked funny, didn't he? Being a Yankee and everything.
Yeah, I was told that one time up there. Pulled in to get gas at the train station in New Jersey.
You see-
I got choked up about it.
Daryl says we speak Parky. Mm-mm. Daryl mumbles pretty good, doesn't he?
Yeah,
We understand him.
I understand
You
him.
understand him. All right. I'd like to get a shout out tonight to the Shelby Shaggers. Becky Wright and goes to the Shelby Shaggers, and Mary Ann and I visited a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to go again. And I'll just say this: Becky's a pretty good shuffle shagger.
The Shelby Shuffle Shaggers.
Shuffle Shaggers. We're going to start our own T-shirts, I guess.
There you go.
There you go. She's back now. All right, move right along here. So your activities. Tell us about the exercise program that you were involved in. And he goes to Atrium,
Right.
Carolina's Rehab
Carolina's Rehab, Mount Holly.
in Mount Holly, North Carolina, and your therapists are
Petra, Sarah, and Allison.
Wow, so you got a whole team working
Mhm.
for you. And oh, I'm sorry, exit 91, Bob, we blew it. We would have bypassed his exit if we go there.
That's where the Peach Orchard is. Isn't it?
So you got a whole team working for you, right? Now, do they work with you or they work you over?
They work with me.
Okay.
I mean, they except for riding the exercise cycle and everything, they're right there by my side when I do the stretching exercises and everything else they've got laid out for me.
So are you there at the same time as Daryl?
Occasionally.
Occasionally, who works harder? You know, I'm trying to start a competition here. Who works harder?
I'd like to think I do.
Okay, now what do you think he'd say?
He said just the opposite.
Okay, who works harder, Daryl? You can tell us on them. I got a feeling you guys are competing in there. So do you feel like you've been worked over when
Oh,
you're
yeah.
done? So you feel like they mugged you or something?
Especially the stretching exercises. They put me on the exercise cycle for 10 minutes and have to maintain a certain steps per minute.
Uh-huh.
And I think today's session was set up for 10 minutes at level
So-
5, I believe.
Right.
I managed to get up to above 100 one time.
Now, you know Tammy?
Yeah, it's my daughter-in-law.
All right.
She's in Missouri tonight.
She's in Missouri. She traveled?
Well, she and my son are out there to visit his son. He just joined the Army.
All right.
Just finished up with
So they're at
basic
Fort
training.
Leonard Wood,
Yep,
also known as Fort Lost in the Woods.
that's what I thought you told me.
Well, that's all. Well, I'm not even say that on. Ooh, don't send your kid to Fort Leonard Wood. All right. Now, so you're involved in the exercise program that was sponsored by the Parkinson's Foundation
That's right.
and then the hospital.
Yep.
Have you been to speech therapy?
No.
You don't have any problems swallowing your food or chewing or anything?
Nothing like that.
That's fantastic. And you drink, how do you drink water? With a
I
straw?
don't drink near enough
Okay. You drink with or without a straw?
without.
Without a straw. Okay. All right. And then do you go to boxing one night a week?
Right.
We're going to be getting that to 2 nights a week when I retire.
Good.
Do you think you could do a daytime thing?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It's better actually during the day.
Yeah, I can do a daytime thing. We're retirees. We set our own schedule.
Yeah, that's right. Every day is Saturday, right? Alex, we're not going to do Embrace the Shake next Thursday because that's Thanksgiving Day. But if we are going to do it, what I'll do is go ahead and put that announcement out early. Maybe we'll do it on a Tuesday or something. But I'll let you know. Alex Lathrop is one of my students at Shelby High School,
Okay.
and she has autism. and she now has her own house.
Good.
Yeah, and she's just a magnificent young lady, a real motivator, positive outlook, does great things.
Good.
So she's always watches the show, and wouldn't be a show without her because she always contributes a lot of wonderful comments,
That's great.
motivational comments. So tell me about, I'm going to get back to the boxing here, but tell us what other than the frustration that we all get rid of, how about what have you gained physically from it, or what have you gained mentally from it? What have been the positives of the boxing?
Well, one thing that stands out to me is uh, I've lost some coordination, especially on the left side. And I guess that's related to Parkinson's disease. I
Right.
don't have any problem, moving my feet on the right side. But on my left side, that's my weak side. So that made me aware of that. Sort of jumped out at me,
Right.
But like you brought up when we first started this program and everything, that we're a target audience for some of the lowlifes out there.
Right.
And used to fuss at my dad whenever he was living. He carried two wallets, one with large bills, one with small bills.
Mm-hmm.
I said, somebody will knock you in the head one of these days and take off with that too. Fortunately, never come to that, but I have to be aware of my surroundings whenever I do something anymore.
Right.
Nolan, Penny takes me wherever I want to go in life, and she's told me the same thing, but I need to be more conscious of my surroundings.
Right.
So try to be aware of it. I don't know if I could defend myself. I could defend myself up to a point, I guess.
Right. You could take the skills that you have and at least keep that fight from traveling forward. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
You could make the constant contact that we talk about. It doesn't have to be forceful contact. It's just that I'm constantly hitting that person,
Right.
and they're going to dodge. They don't want to get hit, but you can still hit them.
Right.
And Daryl says you got a mean right hook.
I've been told that. I don't know why.
Yeah. So between your right hook and his left hook, if you guys travel together,
Tag team,
both sides covered. All right. What has been a real joy for you in boxing is the camaraderie, the exercise.
We're all one big happy family.
Yeah.
With our own little burdens to bear.
Uh-huh.
But it's easier to bear a burden if you got a company.
Yeah.
I think I've been really impressed with the camaraderie and the lessons that have been taught so far.
Right. Getting ready to get in cane fu pretty heavy, aren't we?
I hope so.
Yeah, man. We do cane fu. Parky cane fu. It's a new type of martial art we're bringing up on our own.
Okay.
And actually it's using Kali stick fighting ideas, but like Gary said, you are a target population. It doesn't mean if you're a level 2 like I am, or a level 4, or even a 5, if you believe in the 5 levels, or if you're Canadian and use the 7. Anybody with any type of a disability is a handicap for, as you say, the low lives, right?
Right.
And we got to quit being a target. So being aware of our surroundings is imperative. Right? Being aware of who we hang around, what we do, traveling in numbers, and what I like too, how about caregivers? Isn't that fantastic?
Oh,
Our
that's great.
caregivers participate.
Yes, very much.
Yeah. What do you think Penny gets out of that?
Dinner after church on Sunday.
Ooh, working an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Mary Ann likes going because as a caregiver, she's able to talk with other caregivers or be around other caregivers.
Right.
And we don't always box the whole time.
No.
We socialize.
Socialize a lot.
Right. Do you feel more comfortable around able-bodied or folks like us, or it doesn't really matter for you?
It doesn't matter. We're all here for look out for each other.
That's right.
the way I see it.
Right. Do you think the communities or the public are starting to look out for folks like us a little bit better?
I think so because of the situation in the metropolitan areas. No names given. But I don't venture up that way, especially after dark.
Right.
And avoid it at all costs in daytime even. So, Gastonia is not a bad place right now. So I'm comfortable with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think I want to cross the river for any special reason.
I understand that. I wouldn't go to that big town.
No. There's mean streets up there anymore.
Yeah, and the thing is, I have friends that live there, and it starts getting dark outside. They lock everything up.
Lock her down.
Don't have much of a social life, and that's just terrible. All right, so tell us about the support group that you were initially in, where you met Becky and everybody. What was that type? What type of a support group was that? They meet once a month, or were you tied in with Becky's when she was in support group before?
No.
Okay, all right. There used to be a support group in Shelby, and after I was diagnosed, I wanted to be a part of that support group, but it was in Cherville, I believe, and there was one in Shelby. And it was kind of hard to figure out where it was. And so Becky and I linked up, and my Parkinson's mind, can't remember how we linked up. Then she started coming out with all the names of these folks, that we do have in our group, and then that's how it spread. But we've gotten bigger.
Yeah.
We've gotten bigger.
I didn't realize you had a support group part of what we got right now.
Yeah, we don't have one in Shelby. We don't have one at all anymore. It just kind of
fizzled out.
Yeah, I think the kind person that was running it started to falter. Became ill more than he already was. Did a heck of a job with it, from what everybody says, and I just hate that. His disease really took a turn for the worse. Do you think having Parkinson's has made you a better person?
I'd like to think it has.
In what way, if you don't mind me asking? If that's private, I understand.
Patience.
Patience.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And being aware of your limitations.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just like the example you gave at a session one night on boxing, he may just give you another weapon to use against him.
Mm-hmm. So patience is really, you weren't very patient before.
I was fairly patient. You get frustrated real easy.
Right.
And I guess that's because of Parkinson. It really got my attention on a job I was on after I retired and everything. And I had to operate a series of flow meters for what they call a blend fill, a boiler job.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't find myself a comfortable place to sit, a 5-gallon bucket. So after that, I think that was the last job I did. I just told myself I can't do this anymore. And that's when I got diagnosed with Parkinson's, somewhere around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But the lady that diagnosed me was a nurse practitioner. She picked up on it real quick. The way I walked, I didn't move my hands like you normally would. And the pain in my back, which may or may not have been related to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I try to make the best of every situation.
Right. Right. What advice would you like to close out with tonight with the folks that are watching? Anything from your Parkinson experience, anything you'd like to say to folks that may have somebody that has Parkinson's in their family, or may be considering that, my mom or dad or might have Parkinson's. Mm-hmm. First of all, the first thing I'd like for you to just provide is, what would you say to another Parkinson's patient, another Parkie, about the Parkinson's life? What would you like to tell them about what you've learned about being a Parkie?
Well, it's not the end of the world. You can see it from there, mm-hmm. as I say. But it's going to limit your activities, you might as well just, as you say, embrace the shake
Right.
and don't give up on it. I mean, there's research going on every day for diseases like this. And hopefully, or in our lifetime, we'll see a new treatment for it.
Yeah.
That's what I like to think it anyway.
Um,
There's some high-profile individuals with Parkinson's disease.
right. Alan Alda.
Neil Diamond,
Neil Diamond.
Michael J. Fox.
Right.
I'm sure there's a couple, three more out there.
I'm trying to think of it. There's another singer, Linda Ronstadt.
Well, yeah.
Linda Ronstadt. Yeah.
So it's, doesn't know any boundaries, I don't think. I'd like to be able to see some correlation. I mean, there's all something that common in our background that started this.
Yeah.
I don't know where to look, don't know if that's feasible, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah. What would you say about your attitude about, we've only known each other a couple of months.
Uh-huh.
How do you not want to give up? Have you ever had a moment where you said, I'm done with this mess, I'm tired of dealing with it? I mean, you don't still come across to me as somebody that would just give up. It's like you would fight through it constantly. How do you keep that drive to just fight it every day?
It's not going to go away on its own.
There you go.
So if you want to resign yourself to let it run its course and control your activities, I mean, you're going to be restricted as to what you can do in certain areas. And I know that. So stick with it. I remember whenever Jimmy Valvano was diagnosed with bone cancer, he gave a very passionate speech about it. Mm-hmm. And the bottom line was never, 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 never give up.
Right.
So I guess this would be a good application for this too, I believe. Mm-hmm. That's just my humble opinion.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to leave it with that. I mean, that's just great advice. Never, 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 never give up. There's a thing called the Kubler-Ross grieving cycles, what stages you go through when you grieve, and one of them is acceptance. Mm-hmm. And I think we all went through that when we were diagnosed at our different times and rates. But I think sometimes acceptance can be also seen as, well, that's it, I'm done. Right. And where you have the acceptance of the disease for exactly what it is and what it has done to you and what it will do to us, to all of us. And if we just can stay one step ahead of it, we're still beating it. You agree?
I agree.
All right.
As long as you don't let it win out.
Yeah.
One thing I'd like to mention too is I've got an exceptional caregiver. She's a retired nurse, and she's always looking out for my best interest.
Yeah.
So give credit where credit's due. She's one of the motivating force keeps me going.
Right. And I've got a wonderful caregiver as well. And you and I are both blessed. We outpunted our coverage when we married them. And then we have they're always looking for ways to help us, and they're almost like they anticipate. Do you agree? I mean, it's like
absolutely.
We're just fortunate, just really fortunate to have Penny and Marianne. So there's my cousin Shelley. Her husband Bill Prevost and Shelley both went to Furman University, and they're just magnificent folks and always check on us. So we're going to close it out there tonight. With Gary, thanks for him being on board tonight. I'd like to thank all of our sponsors that we picked up in about a week. It's just fantastic. And I want to tell everybody publicly, I'm a better guy because I've met Gary. I have really watched how patient he is and how focused and directed. Thank you for your kind comments, Daryl. And I just can't say enough about the opportunity to have Gary on the show tonight. But I will do one thing. We will play on the way out one of his favorite artists, Mr. J. Cash.
Well, I just want to say too, that I've really been impressed with all you've accomplished,
Go ahead.
and all you've accomplished, and for taking me under your wing more or less to get through this situation.
You got to watch out for his right hook, though, because he's got a crusher. He dents the bag when he hits it. Right. So, everybody, want to say thank you. We're going to play a little Johnny Cash on the way out, but I want to thank our EMS, fire, and emergency, our rescue squads, paramedics, all the first responders for keeping us safe at night and always answering the call. Fire, law enforcement, EMS. I'd like to say thank you all those that have served our country and those that are currently on the battlefields across the world. Let's bring those guys home. It's been long enough. And I want to say thank you to my family and my friends for the support, and to the Almighty himself for taking good care of us. So always remember, folks, embrace the shake. And we're going to sign out with Mr. Johnny Cash.
Ring of fire.
It's a burning thing. Go ahead, Jerry.
And it makes a fiery ring.
All right. Y'all take care. Embrace the shake. We'll see you later.
My wild desire.
Wild desires.